Welcome to the Popish Plot. I'm Mike.
I'm Jessica.
And I'm Nate.
And today's episode, we talk all over each other.
Yay!
We're punch drunk. We're no longer really planning things out. We're just trying to get through it, people.
We were never planning things out. Now, today is a very special day. For most of us, it's Ascension Sunday. And Ascension Sunday is great. But for a select few of our brothers and sisters, mostly those who live in the Northeast, today is the 7th Sunday of Easter.
The Northeast. Wait. So there's people in like New England that are getting regular Sunday?
Well, they're getting the 7th Sunday of Easter, yeah.
Oh.
In the ecclesiastical provinces of Boston, Hartford, New York, Newark, Philadelphia, and, oddly enough, Omaha. So basically, in New England, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Nebraska.
Interesting.
Yeah. So for those folks, it's the 7th Sunday of Easter. We lived our lives here. What's the 7th Sunday of Easter?
Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot of experience with this. It's always been Ascension Sunday for me.
Yep. For me too, as long as I can remember.
At least for the 15 years now that I've been Catholic. So, I mean, and maybe like 2 years prior to that, 3.
I don't know.
4.
I'm just thinking that if we did Blend instead of Easter, we'd be done by now because 7 times 7 is more than 40.
No, she's not wrong.
And she's not bitter either.
Not that anybody else can see, at least.
So, the 7th Sunday of Easter is all about waiting. Because it's between Ascension and Pentecost. For most of us, we just sort of cut that out. You show up one Sunday and it's Ascension. And then you go through your week and you show up the next Sunday and it's Pentecost. And I'm not saying that's bad. That's still 7 days of waiting. But if you go through the 7th Sunday of Easter, so that Ascension was on the previous Thursday, you have a whole Sunday that's all about waiting.
Wow.
Isn't that pretty much what we do at ordinary time anyway? It's going to be just, all right, here's some parables.
Well, it's not just here's some parables. It's, here's this terrible, horrible thing that was going on in the Old Testament, and here's how Jesus redeems it. And lots of fun/impossible to pronounce names.
I love the fun/impossible to pronounce names.
And you can tell which readers are really preparing in advance and which aren't when they have a reading that is nothing but proper nouns.
Excuse me. I do just fine with all those names. And the only preparation I do is after I've arrived at church, while I'm sitting in my lector seat, I get the missal out and I look through my reading one time. Because I need to know whether or not any of those names are in there.
Because you want your reading to be fresh.
Also, there are some names, like I know a few of the people who were readers would always go and ask how you pronounce this. Like, you get a little bit of a guide, but they're like, is it this or this? I've had times when they've gone from me to deacon to father, and we're all like, basically at the point of, I think kind of this.
Fred. We'll call him Fred.
Here's your response. Go ask Nate.
I usually point out the fact that at the point at which everyone's not sure, if you say it slightly wrong, no one's going to notice.
And that's actually the key. Unless you are a reader at a mass in Steubenville, Ohio, or Denver, or someplace where you've got a lot, or South Bend, Indiana, or near Georgetown in DC. Unless there's a Catholic college near you, and a lot of Catholic scholars, there's a very good chance that no one knows how to pronounce that name. So as long as you are simply confident in how you mispronounce it, no one can say boo.
This guy knows.
You don't know.
I think we need to go back to the Pride video here.
You know how you pronounce it, but you don't know if it's right.
Doesn't matter if it's right. That's the way I pronounce it.
It's speaking ancient Greek when written in English.
I am an expert at reading Romanized Koine Greek or Hebrew.
A legend in his own mind. No, but an example that comes to me is, so I grew up a Trekkie, and so we'd watch old episodes of Star Trek. And there's a two-parter in the original series where there's an actor who's playing a Commodore, because everybody plays Commodores.
Sure.
And his name is Malachi Thorne. But having grown up in the church of these 90s, I grew up essentially biblically illiterate. So my brother and I would look at his name as it came up in the credits and be like, oh, Malachi Thorne. I've never heard the name Malachi before. Only later did it dawn on us, oh, Malachi.
Nope, it's Malachi.
The issue is you have to know exactly, what main background you're going from. That might be how you pronounce it, but not when you're going from ancient Hebrew.
Sure. So it's like, okay, so
Malachi.
Like why phonics does not work in English. We stole from 5 different languages that all use different rules.
Yeah.
This letter can be pronounced 7 different ways.
That's what's fun about it. Yeah, like if you've got a coworker, his name is probably Jesus. Even if in the email it says Jesus, play the averages and greet him as Jesus. If his name is pronounced Jesus, he'll tell you.
You could always play it off like there was a guy named Zeus behind him who you were waving to. Hey, Zeus!
Now I need to go watch Die Hard 3.
Don't we all?
There's a character in there whose name is Zeus.
Mm.
And John McClane hears somebody calling him, "Hey, Zeus."
So again, he's playing the odds.
Zeus. And eventually, Jesus is like, "Do I look Puerto Rican to you?"
Because Zeus is played by Samuel L. Jackson.
The language was a bit more colorful.
Of course, it was Samuel L. Jackson.
But I'm still going to go with John McClane on this one. Just play the odds. How many guys in the borough of Manhattan? How many guys are there named Jesus versus how many guys are there named Zeus?
Yeah,
we are an increasingly depraved and pagan society, but there's still not a lot of kids out there named after the Greek gods.
Really, seriously. Now that I think about it, that would be like the hippest thing, really, for like a celebrity to go and name their kid. Apollo or
Well, there was Apollo Creed.
Yeah.
And his son Adonis.
And it's not like we all don't, remember the number of times when people were noted for how Thor, because his name was Thor. Or Sister Thor.
Okay, you know what's weird? Do you know anyone named Jason?
Yes, I know somebody named Jason.
Do you know anyone? Yeah, it's a rhetorical question. I actually know that you know at least one person named, at least 2 people named Jason.
Yeah.
Do you know anyone named Heracles?
No.
Do you know anyone named Theseus?
No, but you're giving me ideas here. I'm liking this. Let's keep
Sure.
going.
I'm not saying these are bad names, but it's weird because Jason is the name of a hero from Greek mythology, and yet there's lots of people running around in early 21st century America named Jason, but there are not a lot of guys running around named Bellerophon. I'm not saying Bellerophon's a bad name. I'm just saying it's not common.
No. We also appear to be tragically short of Argonauts.
Yes. Although,
naming your kid the Pips. They're back up.
but they dance amazingly.
Wait, that means I could be an Argonaut. Anyways, I think we've gone way far afield here.
Well, no, but see,
where we're just waiting. We're just sitting around and we discuss weird names.
We're just waiting. We've got, depending on where you live, between 7 and 10 days between the Ascension of the Lord, where all of a sudden you've been for 40 days, super happy. Okay. Not in quarantine land. You've been super happy for 40 days. And all of a sudden, well, the Lord is gone again. But this time he didn't like die bloody. He was assumed into heaven in a cloud in incredible glory, and you don't know what's going on. And his only instruction to you is, so go back to Jerusalem and wait. So that's what we're doing. We're killing time waiting for Pentecost.
I like this plan.
I mean, in a way, it kind of connects with quarantine, because if we were doing the seventh Sunday, the first one is an act when they go back to the upper room where they, have been crashing since the Last Supper, apparently, to go pray some. I'm still here.
Hey, but God bless the guy who let them use the place for 50
days.
Who let them use the place for the Passover, not realizing that he's basically giving them 2 months no rent.
I presume it was probably like the colt in the ass. You roll up and tell the guy, listen, the master has need of it. All right. And what are you going to do? Come back? Listen, I know the master has need of it. Does the master still have need of it?
He hasn't told us that he doesn't.
He actually told us he still does.
Didn't he die yesterday? Yeah, but nonetheless, he never mentioned, hey guys, I'm done with the room.
His mom is pretty sure he's coming back, so we think we're going to hang on to the room.
Yeah.
Well, he was probably given the details we have of a very, strict order like the Essenes, and therefore the Bible is very big on, being, nice to strangers and stuff. You can't just kick these people out of your house no matter how long they stay.
So here's what I'm going to suggest. Ladies and gentlemen, go down below, hit the subscribe button and the bell next to it so you get notified tomorrow when our next Easter episode comes out. We give you, it's probably going to be Killing Time Part 2. If you feel that this show is worth passing on to other people, please go hit the like button and go down below and leave a comment. These are as far as we can tell, these are the 2 best things that you can do to help spread, other than telling people about the Popish plot, to help spread word of the Popish plot. And until next time, remember to live your faith.
Love your faith.
Share that love.